What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. This is me, back, sick still, because the last video I did was only a few minutes ago, but to you guys would feel like hours or days. So this is the star that can't read defenses. You guys were asking me to break down or to react to some Daniel Lee content. I've actually never seen Daniel Lee's channel, and apparently it's legit. So I want to watch a video. Daniel Lee down there, go like and subscribe. But this is about Joel Embid, and so I thought it was interesting. Just saw it on my homepage, so might as well break it down.
Over his career, Joel Embid has become one of the best NBA players, but he struggled to win in the postseason, specifically getting out of the second round. In fact, he's the only MVP ever to never make it to a conference finals.
I didn't know that. Also, the reason I thought this would be interesting, because my favorite player of all time is Tracy McGrady, and he also struggled when it came to the business end of the season, once it came to playoffs. And this kind of goes hand in hand with that last video we broke down, which was Pat Dorr. And this is why it's so tough to break down regular season games and try to get anything out of it, because once you get to the playoffs, I almost tell people it's a different sport. Like, once you make playoffs at any level, the intensity is completely different. But especially in the NBA, it goes from entertainment, which it largely is just an entertainment business, to once the playoffs start, you actually start seeing basketball. It's like it's two different things. So I think that's why Joel Embiid struggles so much, and James Harden is very similar. Tracy McGrady was always that. Like, they did what was enough during the regular season, but once the playoffs came, like, that's when proper basketball, proper preparation, having counters and being able to adjust, that's when it really matters.
While he has been injured a good amount, he also just hasn't been that dominant in the playoffs. Most people would point to his dip in scoring, but there's a bigger reason why he struggled throughout the playoffs, something that is still very...
And I do want to talk about this right here, this pass, and I'm speaking from a point of, like, this was me. I've done this. Point of, I'm sick, so my brain isn't working as quick, but what do you call it?
Scoring. But there's a bigger...
Speaking from experience. But right here, like, that's a very easy pass. And Joel Embiid is very capable of making this pass to Tyrese Maxey, or this pass to, I think that's Danny Green. Those are very simple passes for someone like Joel Embiid, especially so much taller, like that double team isn't really bothering him. But the problem is he's gone through the whole regular season not having to deal with these double teams and not having to rely on his teammates cutting. And there was a clip, I actually think we watched it early on in this channel. Joel Embiid was going one-on-one, and Kelly Oubre was standing in the corner like this. And then he finally just walks off. He starts walking the other way down the court, and then Joel Embiid ends up making a move and does score. But I'm like, yeah, playing with guys like that is really tough, because he's talented enough to score, but you got to get your teammates involved, especially when it's the right play to make. And because you're practicing for the playoffs, you're practicing for when you do need your teammates. So that's something I had to learn in my career, that I've made it to the playoffs before and tried to do everything myself and just couldn't get over the hump. And it's like, okay, I need my teammates. I have to practice that in practice. I have to practice that in the regular season. Sometimes if I think I can go 1-on-2, it's worth kicking it out to the corner and let my teammates get used to catching and shooting, getting used to cutting and catching and finishing. They need to get used to it. I need to get used to making those plays, because when the playoffs come, this is what happens. That's why when I watch, sorry, I'm speaking a lot on Daniel Lee's video. That's why whenever you get to these points in the playoffs and I see Joel Embiid and people are like, oh, it was bad luck or whatever, I'm like, no, he's just not putting in, and maybe not on purpose, maybe he's not being coached properly, but he's not putting in the required time to do what needs to be done to be effective when this happens. It's the same as James Harden. They have the exact same thing. Tracy McGrady was the exact same. not being willing to do what it is to win, but still trying to win MVPs, still trying to win scoring titles, you know?
The reason why he struggled throughout the playoffs, something that is still very much fixable to finally break through the second round. The reason fans seem to think that he's worse in the playoffs is due to his unethical play style over his career.
And that's a big one too. And I thought SGA, I thought that would come back to bite him. And honestly, it almost did. If Aaron Gordon wouldn't have got hurt, the Nuggets could have won that series. If Halliburton didn't get hurt, the Pacers could have won that series. I do think for the regular season, getting those cheap fouls is really effective. But I think in the playoffs, you need to not rely on that, because that came back to bite SGA pretty big in the playoffs.
He has consistently averaged double-digit free throws and has relied on free throws to really boost his scoring. He definitely flops a lot and falls in very unnecessary situations. So because the playoffs allow for more physicality, people think that Embiid can't handle the physical play. While that does sound great in theory, the reality is that his free throw rate hasn't changed all that much. He's still averaging close to 10 free throws a game in the postseason, which is only slightly below his regular season average.
But it's probably the amount of plays that he tries to get a foul and they don't call it.
The bigger issue is the increase in turnovers. Over the last few years, Embiid,
And this is what we were talking about at the beginning.
has averaged about 4 turnovers a game, with elimination games marked by very high turnover numbers. The reason is, teams consistently send double teams to force him to make quick reads. Remember, Embiid is looking to score first, so he won't pass it to open teammates if he thinks he can.
Man, this is so funny. Remember what I was talking about with Marcus Smart, Drew Holiday, guys like defensive masterminds like that, they get their team to buy in. This is not how you're supposed to defend. This is not, you're supposed to see, right here, Marcus Smart is guarding Maxey. You're supposed to see ball and man. Same thing here, Tatum, you're supposed to see ball and man. Jaylen Brown, ball and man. He's actually probably the only one that kind of can see both. You're supposed to see them both at the same time. They just don't care. They're like, he's not going to throw it. Let's all just face him. And just keep our arms out. Like, he's not going to make those passes. This is something that most likely was a defensive adjustment by Marcus Smart or obviously Brad Stevens. But these are those types of things that I kind of notice that other people don't really talk about much.
Score in that spot.
They're just not worried about him throwing it at all.
Because he is talented, he can get away with his blend of physicality and finesse, but teams have also used that against.
And then I would say right here, it's funny because when I watch Marcus Smart, I'm like, okay, that's intentional. When I watch Trae Young,
get away with his blend of physicality and finesse,
I just go, that's just him. That's just normal.
But teams,
no offense, my fellow Oklahoman,
have also used that against him. For example, the Sixers are in transition, and Embiid is looking for the ball with Kevin Huerter on him. He doesn't see Matisse Thybulle on the backside, and instead tries to force up a tough jump.
And this is another thing that bothers me about Embiid. Like, if he just put it in his head that he was just going to rim run the whole time, so he is trailing here. Technically, he can go to that trail spot, but I'd say that's the right play for average bigs.
The Sixers aren't.
I'd say for Joel Embid, he should just keep running the whole way.
Transition, and Embiid is looking for,
like, if he just keeps running, like, who's that? Look at the mismatches. Who's going to be
the
there?
ball with Kevin.
Who would be there to to stop him? He'd still have Kevin Huerter on him, but he'd just be under the basket. There'd be the difference. I don't know. Baffling.
Huerter on him. He doesn't see Matisse Thybulle on the backside, and instead tries to force.
And this is what I talk about with when we talk about our one-on-ones a lot and 3-on-3s. This is why I'm so pedantic on don't waste plays, don't waste opportunities, don't do, like, go to your strength every single time until they stop you, because now, like, this is to their advantage. They've got a guarding a big at the top of the key, and it's like that's the best outcome you're going to get, because if he buried you under the basket, like, you weren't going to do anything. And the fact that Embiid just won't go do that every single time, it does bring up questions. Doesn't mean he's soft. It doesn't mean, like, maybe his goal, and I say this about James Harden, I don't think James Harden's goal is to win championships. I think he probably had a couple years, but I think most of his goal is just to, like, be one of the best scorers of all time, try to win a couple MVPs, and have a great basketball career. I think that's what his goal was. And honestly, I'm starting to get the same vibes from Embiid. I think his goal was to, like, win an MVP and get a lot of stats. And I don't even think there's necessarily anything wrong with it.
Force up a tough jumper. Now, you might think that Thybulle is hard to see, but when he was coming up the floor, he never took a peek to see where his teammates were. These are some of the blind spots in his game. He's running pick and roll with Curry and is enamored by all the space up ahead, so he drives and Curry's wide open in the corner, but he sidesteps and gets swatted by John Collins.
It's so funny watching Embiid because it's just like, again, this play, it's so tough. I'm just thinking in my head, there's just so many things that are better here. Like, imagine Embiid just dives. Imagine he just dives right there. Who's going to stop him? Because he dives, someone helps up, he can kick to 2 shooters in the corner. He's got Ben in the dunker spot, or he can dunk, or he can just go the elbow and shoot.
And is enamored.
But instead, he's like,
by all the space.
huh, I'll
ahead.
shot fake.
So he drives and
Get here. I'm not going to kick it to one of the best shooters in the league. I'm just going to keep it myself.
Curry's wide open in the
because I'm big and strong and I can run through anyone.
corner, but he sidesteps and gets
ouchie.
swatted by John Collins.
Ref.
For a lot of score-first players, the mentality that nothing can stop them can be damaging when teams know that you're not going to pass the ball. And no, I'm not saying Embiid never passes, but his inability to make these reads.
Yeah, a couple problems with this too. And Daniel Lee's 100% right. I'm just trying to add to what he's saying, not take away. The problem is, you remember how I was saying it's better to have one go-to move and then it's counters than it is to have like 30 different moves. Joel Embid is so talented and he has every move in his bag, I guess you'd say, but he doesn't have like a go-to to where he can make quick reads. So right here, like to me, it'd just be like this drive to the left. He should instantly have a counter for when the help is coming here. But instead, it's like he's thinking. He's like, hold on, let me get deeper into my bag. It should just be a quick pass to the corner. Like I've driven left so much. If he helps, I'm pitching it to the corner. Like that's the right read. But he's just got so many other things he can do. He can spin back. And he gets caught in that. Like the right play was just to throw it, man. The right play. It was never going to be the wrong play to just throw it here to the corner. Is that Shank Milton? Yeah, just make the simple read.
Reads lets defenses try all sorts of things. Here, Embiid has one-on-one coverage with the 6'4" Derek White as the rim protector. Now, White's going to start creeping up, and at this point, Embiid has PJ Tucker open on the baseline. Now, Tucker could be a bit closer to the rim, but because he doesn't throw it, White can get back. Embiid's now lost a bit of his position.
And see, this isn't the worst thing, him going one-on-one here, getting to the elbow, but Al Horford's a good defender. He should just go dribble handoff straight away. Like once he realizes like nothing's out, if he's not going to throw that, just go dribble handoff, get a pick and roll, get another favorable mismatch a little bit closer. But yeah, he just settles so much.
But because he doesn't throw it, White can get back. Embiid's now lost a bit of his positioning and has to settle for a fadeaway. So by not being able to process the floor,
I actually don't mind this right here.
And has to settle for a fadeaway. So by not
this play right here, I actually don't mind this. So I don't know what Daniel Lee is going to bring up, but I don't mind this. Catching, turning, and going. I know he loses the ball, but
being able to process the floor, this actually impacts his scoring opportunities when teams double.
Oh, so it didn't show, but I don't mind that play. If he did that and that was his mistakes every time, I think it'd be fine. It's once he starts making these mistakes up here, though, it's just baffling. I just don't get it.
Him in the post. Embiid hasn't shown that he's comfortable handling the extra attention. And I think the biggest issue is that he doesn't buy enough time to really survey his reads. Yes, he's not a...
Actually, yeah, remember we talked about the Gordon Herbert video. If any post players or if you're a coach that wants to learn how to teach the post.
Embiid hasn't shown that he's comfortable handling the extra attention.
This right here is perfect.
And I think the biggest issue...
On the catch, remember, just chin it, have a look middle, see what you want to see first. Instead, he puts the ball on the floor in a double team.
Is that he doesn't...
And now he's got a timer because he's put the ball on the floor. It looks like they have a rule that you need to double. So it looks like doubling on the catch is one rule, and then it also looks like they have a rule that's double once he puts the ball on the floor. So Jimmy Butler, like everyone just commits because he's not great at making plays once he's got the ball, once he's dribbling.
Buy enough time to really survey his reads. Yes, he's not a basketball savant like Jokic who can process everything at lightning speed. But he can make up for that if he just took an extra split second to survey all of his options. Teams would double hard because they're able to anticipate where he's going to throw it.
Yeah, same thing.
Teams would double hard because they're able to...
It's wild to me. It's wild that he...
anticipate where...
Just so weak of a position.
He's going to throw it. In the 2022 series against the Raptors, they were very undersized, so they would double, and the help defender would never break stride to steal the ball. On this one, Embiid catches the ball and is immediately doubled, so he tries to circle his way out.
Same thing, putting the ball on the floor rather than just chinning it.
And if he had taken a split second to see Gary Trent's momentum, Danny Green would have been the right read, but he gets rid of it too soon and then gets picked off. The other thing that stands out is his tendency to force passes, and it's because he misjudges how the defenders are playing him. When he's reading the defense, he tries to thread passes in tight spots, even when he's reading the defense, he tries to thread passes in
Like, he just shoots that, right? That's just a shot. This is what I don't understand about it. Like, just shoot it, man. What are you doing?
tight spots, even when there's a lot of traffic. On this one, he has Derek White as his matchup, so he's expecting that Horford's gonna come help. So after a few dribbles, he throws it immediately, but Horford was just playing the passing lane. This is where some of his court mapping skills are still
Jeez,
lacking.
man.
His rhythm
It's so hard to watch because he's so talented. He's so talented, but he just consistently makes bad mistakes. And one way to combat this, the solution I would give Joel Embid, again, not that he needs my advice, but it's just like, pick a spot on the floor that you're going to dominate. Like, pick a spot that you're trying to get to every play, and you're going to dominate that spot. What it does, it allows you to practice that situation over and over. You can start having game plans for every time I catch here and they double from here, this is what's going to be open. Like, go dominate one spot and just be like, that's the spot I'm going to dominate. Instead, Joel Embiid's like, I want to dominate here, 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 all these things. So it's jack of all trades, master of none. It's like, dominate one spot, get your rhythm and you get your teammates used to playing with you out of that spot, and see all the worst that the teams can throw at you. Like, build that up through the season, see the worst that they can give, and then you're kind of prepared for playoffs. Once you're comfortable with that, you go to the next spot. Okay, now I'm going to dominate the top of the key just for a different look. So if this isn't working and they do all these things, now I can go to the top of the key. It's like, dominate one spot at a time. Instead, he just does so many different things that it's like, how do you game plan if you're one of his teammates? Like, what do you prepare for? Never know what he's going to do. Never know what she's doing back there. The meatloaf. Sorry, some of you won't get it.
Timing on some of these aren't the most consistent. He waits a bit too long on this one, and Garland then has time to steal his pass. In this zone, Embiid's in the middle, and he knows his guy's in the corner. As the defender retreats back to his zone, though, Harris makes a good cut, but Embiid throws it to the corner because he was thinking he was still there. The biggest issue.
Yeah, and these plays are tough because that was the right decision, just the wrong pass. Remember we talked about scanning the floor?
As the defender retreats back to his zone, though.
So right here, before the ball gets to him, like, Embiid needs to give a quick look. Give a quick look so you catch and you can see where everything is. One of you mentioned it in the comments, actually. I didn't really realize this was a soccer thing, but I heard this term at a basketball clinic 6 years ago. They talked about the importance of, like, scanning the floor. So when you're in triple threat, like scanning, we talk about a lot on this channel. Scan, have a look. Don't just like eye in on the ball, catch, and then everything is fresh and new and you're trying to process everything like immediately. It's like, scan the floor. Now you have an idea of where everything is. You can kind of map the court. So quickly give a look, and as that ball is coming to you, you can turn, and let's say a defender is shooting the gap. You're like, oh, I knew that defender was there though. So you're kind of prepared for some of those things. Joel Embiid is just like this all the time. And he just tries to make a play, and it's like, no, scan the floor, see what else there is, like, anticipate, think ahead. I think that would solve a lot of these problems too.
Harris makes a good cut, but Embiid throws it to the corner because he was thinking he was still there. The biggest issue is that his teammates don't know what he's really thinking.
And this is what we just said, right?
Embiid might have a creative idea in mind, like threading this pass to Paul George, but he wasn't really expecting it. Part of the reason is that Embiid is a score-first player, so sometimes his teammates will be creating space for him to drive, but Embiid wants to...
It's crazy because, yeah, he was the leading scorer this year, I'm pretty sure. He's trying to throw it to Markieff Morris. Like, that's never the play. Embiid, you bring the ball up and then throw it into the post to Markieff Morris.
Then throw them the ball. For them to really make this work, Embiid needs to first assess which passing lanes are truly open. Sometimes he has blind spots.
Never put the ball on top of your head either, kids.
Embiid needs to...
Like, that's such a weak position against Lonzo Ball. Like, get low, get him off, create space. Passing, like, these are the ideal places to pass from. Like, keeping the ball here. Not up here.
First assess which passing lanes are truly open. Sometimes he has blind spots when he's looking at the defense, and he expects his teammate to somehow be open.
Morris again. Stop trying to throw the ball to Morris to be a scorer. He's a cleanup guy. He's a spot-up shooter guy.
And the other issue is that his
This is, again, another know your personnel thing.
Just not looking for a pass, so some better chemistry between him and his teammates can go a long way towards taking advantage of these coverages. Now, in all fairness, Embiid hasn't had the best coaching throughout the years.
True.
In our last video, I talked about how Doc Rivers didn't put Embiid's teammates in the proper positions when he had the ball.
And that's true. I'm sitting here bashing Embiid a lot. Like, the coaching has not been great.
Most of his teammates would be standing around the perimeter, but because they're not moving, teams could get away with doubling without consequences. For example, Embiid's in the post, and everyone's just standing on the perimeter. So Rob Williams can help, and Tatum and Smart are able to guard 3 players on the other side.
Kinda. It's just, I mean, James Harden's wide open here. It's just, this is just bad spacing in general. Like 4 players standing and watching one guy go to work. Again, this is the playoffs. This is the playoffs, and this is the difference. It just gets a little bit tougher. You've got to play together more as a team. You need more sets. You need more ball movement. You need less one-on-one go to work.
Embiid then has to,
because Harden's open here,
to kick it out with no advantage. The biggest,
and again, this is because they're not used to playing winning basketball. Like, are you telling me James Harden can't make this shot?
The other side, Embiid.
And this is something I saw right when I came back from America. I was coaching. Actually, one of them is up on the Patreon. You can see one of the sessions I did with some kids that they could make tough shots, like some one-on-one shots, but I was trying to teach them how to get some driving kicks, and they were terrible at hitting open shots.
Then has to kick it out with no.
And it's like, yeah, because you're like, why is he not shooting this? His whole season and his whole last however many years, James Harden's built it off of dribble the ball up, pound, 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 fade away, step back, 3. Like that's his rhythm shot. So it's like that's why it pays to like play proper basketball more, because whenever you really need it, like it's there.
Advantage. The biggest issue is that Doc didn't prepare the Sixers enough to take advantage of these double teams. On this one, Maxey finds Embiid, and the Heat immediately double, but because Harris is moving to the corner instead of looking for the ball, he's not a passing option, and Embiid then has to force something over 2 people. Then a year later, we see the same problem. Maxey finds Embiid in the post.
Great job by Marcus Smart. We talked about with Jeremy Lin. This is going to be a score 80% of the time.
And a year later,
pushed him out a little bit.
We see the same problem.
Pushed him out a little bit further. And now watch where he catches the ball.
Maxey finds Embiid in the post.
By the time he catches it, instead of being on the block like he was, like that's a little bit tougher. That's a little bit tougher. Even if he does go score a couple of those, you can't score 40 doing that. That's exhausting. But now the help has plenty of time.
And because he moves to the opposite wing, Brown can now double when Maxey.
So he was going to catch it here one-on-one, but now he's taken 2 dribbles and he's got a double, almost a triple team.
Has his back turned.
Oh, it is a triple team.
Now Embiid's able to draw a foul, but these were the chemistry issues that often went unnoticed. Once Nick Nurse came to town, though, he told the Sixers to cut more to open up more passing lanes. When Embiid gets doubled, Oubre cuts to the dunker spot, Harris moves to the deep corner, and they get a way better look. These cuts force the help defenders that are pre-rotating to the shooters to now deal with another threat. So it creates these open shots that weren't there when Doc was the coach. In addition, I've loved how Nurse has used Maxey's gravity to make Embiid's passing options much simpler. With the Knicks often doubling Maxey, he now has the luxury to work in 4-on-3 situations, and he's been better at delivering the pass to the right teammate.
Wow, looks so much better, doesn't it?
And with the Sixers adding another guard during the draft.
Oh, there we go. That's what I mean. Just get into another action. It's going to put you in such a... I wish Embiid would just play this way all the time.
They should have strong enough guard play.
Nobody can stop him when he's like getting a closeout.
Play for Embiid to continue working in these spots. If Embiid can continue to punish the double teams, this would immensely help his scoring opportunities as well.
Anyways, there's like 3 more minutes left in the video. I don't want to take his whole video, but that was really good. Thank you for suggesting him, Daniel Lee. Go like and subscribe. This was an excellent video. These are the type of breakdowns I like, not just showing me what's happening on the screen. I can already see what's happening on the screen, but you can tell he's done the research and he's explaining why the things that are happening on the screen. This is excellent, and it also shows almost all of these games, all of these highlights were from playoff games. And again, that's where the real breakdowns are, right? Because you can do regular season all you want, but you're not gonna get real defensive schemes. You're not gonna get deep offensive sets. So this was excellent. Thank you guys. I'm sorry that I've been sick the last couple of days and haven't been able to keep up with the videos, but I'm doing my best. I promise we'll get those pumping out, hopefully 2 a day again. As we go forward. But other than that, you guys take care, and I'll see you all in the next video.